JBN, we keep you informed. 16-year-old placed on Clarendon Most Wanted list. A 16-year-old boy has been placed on the Clarendon Police Most Wanted list. The teenager is among several other young people being sought for crimes committed in central Clarendon. Senior Superintendent Glenford Miller, head of the Clarendon Police, said the individuals are linked to murders and shootings. There are young persons who are on our wanted list. Persons, according to how the law is structured, would call them children because they are under a certain age. So it is not just the adults who are committing crime, the children are out there committing crimes, he conceded. He said parents could also be enabling the problem because sometimes the parents know what is happening and support it because they are benefiting from it. SSP Miller said several of the wanted persons are being protected by family members. He was speaking on Wednesday at a Maypen Chamber of Commerce general meeting. Deputy Superintendent Jermaine Anglin, Crime Officer for Clarendon, said several of those on the wanted list are below age 25. JDF soldiers save female student. A female student of the Flanker Skills Training Institute in Montego Bay, St. James, is fortunate to be alive today thanks to a team of quick-thinking Jamaica Defence Force JDF soldiers. According to reports, the student lost consciousness and passed out during a meeting at the institution on Tuesday. The soldiers who were visiting the institution saw what was happening and immediately sprang into action. They picked her up, rushed her to their JDF service vehicle, and began the journey to the Cornwall Regional Hospital's expanded Accident and Emergency Department located in downtown Montego Bay. The JDF says during the trip, it was noticed that the young woman was having difficulty breathing on her own, prompting one of the soldiers, Staff Sergeant Walker, to administer emergency CPR. When I noticed that she was not breathing, my mind quickly went back to my training, said Walker. My immediate focus then was to ensure that her heart was beating and her lungs moving, he added. The young woman began breathing again, but according to Walker, she was not able to sustain it. So I had to keep giving her mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, he said, pointing out that the slow-moving traffic quickly raised concerns about whether they would make it to the hospital in time. According to the Army, that's when Walker's colleagues got off the service vehicle and ran ahead to help clear the traffic leading to the health facility. When they arrived, the student was rushed to the emergency room where it was reportedly discovered that she suffered a panic attack which constricted her airways and caused her to lose consciousness. She was stabilized and discharged almost an hour later, the JDF said. The Army praised Walker and his colleagues for their quick action, which saved the young woman's life. Woman gets suspended sentence for fatally stabbing her brother. A St. Catherine woman who fatally stabbed her brother with a pair of scissors in a dispute over remote control has been given a 3-year suspended sentence. It means that Sharissa Dixon, 27, will serve no prison time if she stays out of trouble for 3 years. The sentence was handed down in the St. Catherine Circuit Court last Wednesday by Justice Marcia Dunbar Green. It came weeks after Dixon pleaded guilty to manslaughter for the 2015 stabbing death of her sibling Nejuton Dixon. Their father was the sole eyewitness. The guilty plea came after lead prosecutor Andrea Martin Swaby had empaneled the jury to commence her trial for murder. I accepted the plea for the lesser offense of manslaughter because both deceased were fighting over a cable box, and it was during the struggle the accused used the scissors and stabbed her brother once in the chest, Martin Swaby said. She said it was clear by the young woman's actions after the stabbing that there was no intent to kill. According to Martin Swaby, a senior deputy director of public prosecutions, Sharissa's father testified during the sentencing hearing that he has already lost one child and did not want to lose another. According to the evidence, the siblings were home watching television on August 12, 2015, when they got into a scuffle over the use of a remote controller. Nejuton Dixon was stabbed during the dispute and later pronounced dead at the hospital. Rastafarians accuse cops of abusing one of their elders. The recent police treatment of Rastafarian elder known as Changa Changa has drawn the ire of the Rastafarian community. Changa Changa is known for its handmade clothing made from banana leaves and bamboo and has been an iconic figure of the Rastafarian community in Montego Bay, St. James. Reports are that Changa Changa was recently stopped by the police in the second city, who demanded a search. The Rastafarian complied with the request, but nothing illegal was reportedly found on his person. The cops then upped the ante and demanded a strip search. The man denied the request and was reportedly hauled off to the police station and charged with resisting arrest. Strip searches are illegal in Jamaica. According to a social media post by Rastafarian matriarch Barbara Blake Hanna, the police went even further by telling Changa Changa that he will not be allowed to wear his naturally crafted attire when he attends court. An attorney has since volunteered to represent Changa Changa when his case is mentioned in court. It is long overdue for this ugly type of abuse of Rastafari, especially by the police, to stop, while on the other hand, Rastafari has been used to bring millions of tourists and music lovers to spend money in Jamaica, she posted. The cry for full human rights to Rastafari continues to be heard loud and clear. Time for change, she added. Opposition slams government over worsening poverty rate. The parliamentary opposition has suggested that the country's worsening poverty rate should be blamed on the government's $1.5 million tax plan. The governing Jamaica Labour Party, JLP, campaigned on a promise to abolish personal income tax for persons earning $1.5 million or less in the lead up to the 2016 general elections. The plan has already been implemented. A document tabled in the Senate on Friday revealed that the number of Jamaicans living below the poverty line inched up to 19.3% in 2017. According to Ministry Paper 51, this was fueled by a 5% increase in poverty in the Kingston Metropolitan Area KMA and a 4.1% spike in other towns. The poverty rate in rural areas inched down from 20.5% in 2016 to 20.1% the following year. It is clear that the additional indirect taxes of over $30 billion imposed by the JLP government to pay for their 1.5 election gimmick has worsened poverty in Jamaica, opposition spokesman on finance Mark Golding said in a statement. He says the opposition warned that this would happen. Low-income wage earners, unemployed, pensioners and micro-business operators who were already existing on the edge of survival have been made to bear these additional taxes while receiving no benefit from the election income tax break, Golding said. In a country marked by wide income and wealth inequality like Jamaica and lacking an adequate social safety net for the poor and vulnerable, this outcome was entirely predictable, Golding asserted. Dependency units to be in operation by year end. Work on the dependency units, HDU, being built at 4 hospitals to care for high-risk expectant mothers and premature infants are expected to be completed by year end. We should get all of them completed by the end of October, maybe early November, but certainly during the course of this year, said Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Christopher Tufton. He was speaking during a tour of the project site at the Spanish Town Hospital in St. Catherine on Wednesday. In addition to Spanish Town, the others are being built at the Victoria Jubilee Hospital, the Bustamante Hospital for Children, and the St. Anne's Bay Hospital. The HDUs are being established under the European Union EU-funded program for the reduction of maternal and child mortality, which is aimed at providing access to quality care for pregnant women and babies in order to reduce the level of pregnancy-related mortality. Dr. Tufton said that the units will provide advanced care for serious cases, give support to our maternal services, and cement the partnership between ourselves and the European Union in public health, which we fully appreciate. The new HDU at the Spanish Town Hospital is being built adjacent to the maternity ward and will consist of a maternal unit and a neonatal unit. The maternal unit will have 5 sections for mothers who are in need of critical care and an isolation area, while the neonatal unit will have 6 individual sections and 2 isolated areas for critically ill babies. Senior Medical Officer for the Spanish Town Hospital, Dr. Jacqueline Wright James, said that the HDU will better enable the hospital to serve critically ill mothers and babies. We have in our nursery about 40 babies on average per day, Of that, at least a quarter of them will need critical care and one-on-one nursing. So this will certainly ramp up our capacity to deal with that type of care for our babies, she noted. These units will have equipment to support these critically ill babies, she added. On average, 5,000 babies are delivered annually at the Spanish Town Hospital, with 5,040 in 2018. 70 students to benefit from breakfast program, says Samuda. Some 70 vulnerable students at the primary and early childhood levels will benefit from a breakfast program, which will roll out at the start of the new school year in September. According to Minister without Portfolio with Responsibility for Education, Youth and Information, Carl Samuda, the ministry is in the process of securing additional fund for the initiative. He was making his contribution to the 2019-2020 sectoral debate in the House of Representatives on July 31. Samuda said that Nutrition Products Limited, NPL Westmoreland plant, will be reopened. Following discussions with NPL, we were advised that the plant will provide juices for selected schools and serve as the hub for distributing local produce to schools for their lunch program, he told the House. In addition, NPL is considering the provision of lunches consisting primarily of locally grown produce and the natural fruit juices for schools located within 15 minutes of the plant. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.